Easy, take it away. Your analysis of your boy, Saim Ayub.
Matlab, it's same old, same old. Once again, short selection is all over the shop. You cannot survive. I think technically he's just not good enough even to survive top quality bowling in the power play. You want to play your own shots blindly. You want to impose yourself.
There was an 8 over stretch where we basically went at about 5.5 runs per over.
Mm.
And that's where you lost. You were basically their whole premise to keeping wickets in hand was they were deferring risk. Welcome to Over and Out as we discussed Pakistan's defeat to England in the Super 8s. With me, the usual gang, Izzy Khwaja in the UAE and Mr. Siddiqui from DawnNews English. Well, gentlemen,
Hmm.
the lots to talk about, lots to ponder. So let's start off. Let's try and break this up into different aspects. Start off with just the selection and the decision to bat first. So one change, right? Shaheen in for Fahim Ashraf. Noah Brar and Babar retained his position, as did Fakhr. Your thoughts, each of you, on just the team selection and the decision to bat first.
Easy, take it away. I'll go. Should I go?
I agreed with both. I think we made the right choice that we dropped, one of the all-rounders for a frontline seamer. I agreed with that, and I totally agreed with the choice to bat first. I think we got lucky. We got both of our tactical decisions more or less spot on, but unfortunately, वही बात है कि we didn't apply ourselves really in the power play. Even Saibzada Farhan, even though he played a very good hand, once again it's block or slog. Saim Ayub, once again flattest to
We'll we'll
deceive,
come
and
to we'll
finally
come we'll come to all of that.
I can
Just
see that the trend is finally turning against this non-performer in the top order. He has the privilege of batting in the power play for the last 3 years, and what has he produced for us?
we will
Absolutely
come to that.
zilch.
Let's go to
Absolutely
Mustafa
zilch. यार ये मतलब
with the
उनका
selection.
एक थ्रेट है जोफ्रा आर्चर उसको आप फ्रंट फुट पे ऐसे पुल मारे हो from wide off like you're freaking Adam Gilchrist or Matthew Hayden. What a ridiculous
I will
dismissal.
come back to you on Sam. Let's just go with the selection right now
Okay.
of
I
continuing
thought
to
the
play
selections were
Babar.
fine, and even the toss
Mus-
decision was spot on. I completely agree.
Mustafa, your thought on the selection?
First things, toss decision I was fine with because we didn't know what the wicket how the wicket was going to react later in the day, and like it was still up. As it turned out, it was. I still I as the game turned out, I do think it was the right decision as well because like there was definitely something in the pitch that got a bit worse as the pitch went on. It was just that a certain batsman in the second innings was looked like he was batting on a different pitch than everyone else. Selection wise, I'm fine bringing in a pacer if it was. I was obviously I did say I did not want Shaheen. I wanted Naseem. Okay, but I did think you needed another frontline pacer. The one disagreement I had is yes, if you had to drop an all rounder, I wouldn't have dropped the Fahim. I would have dropped Nawaz because you already have so many spinners, and Nawaz has done basically aside from that India game where he helped Usman Tariq control that middle overs, he really hasn't done anything with the bat or the ball. At least Fahim has at least won you a game with the bat, right? And I think as it turned out throughout the day, like the seamers were very important in this game, and like your spin bowlers in the second innings did kind of lose you that game as well to a more it's a whole as it's a whole thing.
All right, let's come to Aziz's boy then. Saima, you know,
Go
from
ahead.
ball one, he just didn't look like he was in control. He didn't know how to read Jafar Archer. He didn't know how to read the wicket. He didn't really have a plan to attack Jafar Archer. Here's a guy who clearly is bereft now of confidence. He hasn't been in the runs, and I think he was trying to force it. Easy, take it away. Your analysis of your boy, Saima.
Matlab, it's same old, same old. Once again, short selection is all over the shop. You cannot survive. I think technically he's just not good enough even to survive top quality bowling in the power play. You want to play your own shots blindly. You want to impose yourself without playing the ball on merit or even giving yourself an opportunity. Fair enough, you got that one streaky boundary flashing over the top of cover. That's not a bad shot considering there was a deep third in place. But why are you looking to hook one of the fastest bowlers in the world, man? I mean, it's just about seeing off his spell and then cashing in from the other end. But the basic the construction of innings is all over the shop, and for all the critique that the likes of Babar and Rizwan have faced over the last 2 years for their attritional or so-called conservative batting. Now we know why, because there is no trust on the middle order. And then they had the likes of Mohammad Hafiz, Shoaib Malik, Asif Ali, and Khushdil Shah. Are you going to trust these guys batting in the middle order? That's why they played the way that they did. But now you've gone in with this newfangled superstar with the no looks this and no looks that. But in the end, he doesn't produce runs. 60 odd matches, you got 650s, and you bottled it multiple times in the Asia Cup on the highest level when the pressure was well and truly on, and you bottled it at World Cup level. I mean, this guy is just basically remaining in the team because of his occasional bowling, which is pretty good to be fair. But there was due around. It was going to be easier batting second. And in the end, they just, no doubt, Brook played the innings of his life, absolutely stunning knock. But it was always going to be a lot more friendlier in the second innings to chase. We saw what Pathum Nissanka did against Australia in the same ground in the evening game. And Harry Brook did very much the same.
Yeah.
Safar, just touch on what AT said about Saim Ayub, and then let me bring you in on this. You lost the second wicket. Agha went in the third over, and so now you have Babar coming into the third over. Was that the right decision? Should they have boosted up Fakhar or even a Shadab into the power play at that point? Or was Babar coming in at four the right call?
So with the way, so like first with Saim, I can't. I have tried to defend him this entire World Cup. Yes, last game I had to. Last time he played, I did have to eventually say like, bro, where are these runs? Where are the runs, man? As much as your bowling is good, like where is your runs? Like I need my opener getting runs. Like it's like I'm sick and tired of this. Like I think he's still one of the most talented batsmen in Pakistan, but like he's just not performing, and it's just like he's as AZ said, he's played 67 matches for Pakistan for in T20Is for Pakistan. That's more than a lot of our senior cricketers have that you would think about, right? That's a lot more than people think about. And now into when Aga like let's also touch on Aga. Aga has done nothing this tournament as well. Aga has done nothing this tournament. He has like 60 odd runs this tournament, where he got like 30 odd against Namibia, and otherwise he's done nothing. Okay, as much as I like him in tests and ODIs, it is very obvious. I do think he is a good face for the team in the sense that like he does take criticism straight on the head. He doesn't blame his players like some of our other captains have done. He does take it to himself, and it's like a team collective thing. It's just like same thing. It's where are the runs, man? Where I need my runs. I need runs. And now on to sending Babar when you could have sent Fakhr. Now, yes, you could have sent Fakhr at that time because it was still the power play. But at the same time, I can understand why they sent Babar because you're 2 wickets down. The idea of playing Babar is to be that stabilizing force, right? But at the same time, like it's still the power play. You still need to make runs, even if wickets have gone down. Like you still need to because like what was the score at 2 wickets down?
27.
2 for 27 in the third
in
over.
in the third over. So yeah, you still had 3 overs of the power play left, and like you should have like you could have sent Fakhr, but I understand why they sent Babar. Okay,
Let me ask you. Let
sorry,
me ask you a question. Go ahead. Go ahead,
yeah.
Mustaf. Finish
So
it up,
and
and then
like
I'll come to
it
AZ's
wasn't like
question.
completely bad for Babar in the power play. Like he was like 10 off 6 of his first 6 balls, right? It's everything that came after the first 6 balls that really derailed the conversation for Babar. And yeah, take it away.
What's the point of Salman Ava as in number
Very
three in
good question.
T20?
Yeah.
Superb question.
What is the point? Like, what does he
There
give
is no
you,
point. He was
right?
a misfit in the
Am
team
I
right
am
from
I
day one.
missing something? Right? There's no
He's
point of him
basically
as a
just
spinner.
a, I hate to use the phrase, but he's become
Figurehead?
sort of a yes man, sort of a captain, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
he'll obey the coach. That's exactly what he is. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And Babar, if it was Fakhar Zaman, I can guarantee you we would have been four down in a matter of minutes. I think Babar, fair enough, individual numbers don't look good, but that partnership was exactly what Pakistan needed at that stage. We would have completely imploded if he hadn't hung around. And you talk about intent. He was the one who actually hit two boundaries. It was Saibzada Farhan who I believe only hit one boundary down the ground against Sam Curran in that partnership. So it
So
wasn't exactly.
let's come to that partnership. It was a weird partnership because
I'm
they
looking at the numbers. Saibzada Farhan made run about 20 in that partnership.
yeah. So if you look at it, if you look at I was looking at the worm, they dipped below the 8 runs per over mark at the fifth over, and they didn't go above it against the 17th over. In that spell, they went 6 runs, 9 runs, 6 runs, 5 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs, and 7 runs in an over. At that point, by the 15th over, they'd only lost 3 wickets, and yet uh, you'd hardly scored anything. I think the problem became you had two batters who were basically stuck. Their running between the wickets was atrocious today. There were so many points where a one could have been a two or a none could have been a one, and they just
And
didn't
we have
take
to
it.
thank Jacob Bethel for at least plus 6 or 7
So
as well.
that's the other thing. They played incredibly slow despite benefiting from sloppy fielding from England. And Barber, to me, forget his strike rate. He looks unfit. He cannot turn those singles into doubles when he used to. That was one of the strengths of him and Rizwan
Mm.
back in the day as openers. They would constantly turn ones into twos.
And that was another
Let's
thing.
break down that middle over session between Babar and Saibzada Farhan there.
Go
So
ahead, Mustafa.
Oh, sorry. Like in that sense, like that entire session, like yes, you could see it as a stabilizing thing, but it was also a very weird partnership. Like, and it's a big ground, right? There's long enough boundaries where it's you should be like you are professional batsman, right? Barber, you have played international cricket for what 11 years now, if I'm not wrong. He's debuted in 2015, right? You should be able to niggle the ball around and get doubles at ease, right? And which was the hallmark of Harry Brook's innings, aside from the massive six hitting and boundary hitting he was doing. He was running for every single he was making into a double, which we still, as a nation, we cannot do. We have never been able to do this, aside from that small period where we had Rizwan and Babar as your partnership. And as much as you complain about that partnership, it is, and I complain about that partnership. I never want to go back to that partnership. Let me be straight up right now. But at least the hallmark of that partnership was you were able to make the fielders pay for their bad fielding, which we haven't done this entire tournament.
you mentioned Harry Brook. England, once they got above 8 runs per over in the 15th inning, they maintained 8 runs per over throughout. Whereas we didn't get to it again until the 17th, 18th inning. There was an 8 over stretch where we basically went at about 5.5 runs per over.
Mm.
And that's where you lost. You were basically their whole premise to keeping wickets in hand was they were deferring risk. But by deferring risk and deferring risk, you're basically hoping for this magical last 4 or 5 overs, and we never got it. You just didn't.
Mm.
Especially
Let's
when you, sorry, especially when you drop Fahim, who's your best pace hitter at the death.
Is
But
he
they
would
bowled spin at the death, if you
they did
notice.
they did
Yeah.
ball spin. So Liam Dawson, for
I mean,
example,
Dawson,
four
man.
four
Dawson,
overs,
man.
4 overs, 3 for 24. Why can't we hit left arm spin?
Very
Herat.
good question.
I only have good
Bro,
questions today.
Boye and these guys in the past, Paul Harris, if you remember.
Yeah. So
No,
there
who
was
was
a
that? Age. Sorry.
that's it. Why can't we hit left arm spin? We just grind to a halt.
Because we swing towards cow corner and mid wicket for our boundary shots, and the ball is turning away. So it's a low percentage shot, and these guys are low percentage cricketers. I'm just looking at the numbers.
Because
Innings for two,
Adil Rashid didn't he didn't bowl well
how
today.
bad did Fakhr look against him, man? It was
So
embarrassing.
that's
I
what I'm
mean,
coming to. Has
had they,
Fakhr
yaar.
lost his ability to play spin? He looked lost. Him and Babar actually, they couldn't pick the googly. Uh, they were consistently getting stuck against a bowler who had a lot of bunnies today, right? He balled a bunch of balls on
Exactly.
short hop that should have been deposited over the fence. But these guys just weren't picking the ball out of his hands today. And to me, that was the most glaring thing in watching Babar and Fakhr is that their skills have eroded to the point where I don't think they can be salvaged. You know, Fakhar, when he got out finally, his score in the end looked respectable because he had that 6 and that 4.
Because he slogged a few, yeah.
Because he slogged a few, but basically closed his eyes and swung. But he looks, you know, he's a Navy guy, so not to use a naval analogy, but he looked completely at sea. What did you think of his use, his game, and moving forward? Is there a role for him? Because to me, I just don't
Fakhar
see
has
his
only been
utility.
productive even in PSL. He dots up the power play, then he gets set, and then he counterattacks on the true wickets outside the power plays. He's always needed time to get going in T20Is. There was a reason we dropped him from the T20 setup in 2021 and Rizwan took over for the next 3 years because he had been a top order bust for the most part, even though he was batting alongside Babar. He's always been a bit of a misfit in the T20 arena. We just let his one day form and his PSL form overshadow the actual bare numbers. He has never been that dude for Pakistan in T20 internationals. That's just that's the brass tacks of it, to be honest.
So then where do you go from here in the middle order? You're simply not good enough to consolidate. You're not good enough to
I think
accelerate.
the Salman Ali Agha coming in at 1-3, number 3 as the intent merchant has to stop, man. Enough with this nonsense. You've been a
This,
complete no-show, man. Enough already. You've embarrassed yourself and you've
but
constantly put the team under pressure.
he's your captain, so he's going to stay at number 3. Unfortunately,
Bad at 8, man. Bad at 7. Let Usman go
you're
up if you want
stuck with
somebody to
that.
play with.
I actually thought
Osman is the
Usman
best.
came in and did reasonable, right?
Osman and
He's been
Shadab, both
his
of them.
wicket keeping has been out of this world in this World Cup. He's
Some
been one of the best keepers in this World Cup. So
he
good.
has it. And then they finally got to 164. Basically, they coughed
That was
and
10 runs
wheezed.
too short. That was
It
the
was
problem.
coughed, wheezed, and spluttered. And this is the old adage with Pakistan cricket, where we're about 10, 15 runs too short. And of course, Agha said that in his post game. We were about 10, 15 runs too short. And this is despite you actually being about 25 runs too short because England literally gifted you at least 10, 15 runs with their fielding.
No, but I think if we had made it up to 175, it would have been a very different game plan altogether.
It would have been. Let's come to the bowling then. I thought Shaheen's first 3 overs were very good. You know, he took a wicket with the first ball. He took a
In
wicket
each over.
in each in the second over early on. They were actually 3 down in the power play. If you look at England's batting, Harry Brook scored 100 of basically 50. Everyone else scored a run a ball. I think they were 62 of
Exactly.
62.
Yeah.
But this game was lost. Here's this where this game was lost, in my opinion. It again comes to Salman Agha. He bowls Usman Tariq. I think he brings him in the eighth over.
Yeah.
Usman Tariq takes a wicket, gives 5 runs.
And then
He
you put on
then
Saim Ayub for some reason.
no, he brings on Shadab, who goes for 9. He brings on Saim, who goes for 10, and then he brings Shadab back for 17.
17.
In 3 overs, you give up 36 runs. And right there, the required run rate
The momentum
tanks.
swung. Yeah.
Momentum swung. And if you look at the win percentages at the end of the over, which Usman Tariq bowled, which was the 8th over, we gave up 5. It was a wicket over. Took a wicket, only gave up 5. Pakistan had sort of a 2-1 chance of winning the game. By the end of that, when he came back 3 overs later, it had completely flipped. This again is a captaincy and a Mike Hesson issue for me. He's done this now twice in back-to-back games. He did it against India, whereby you had him down, and then basically those 2 overs.
You delayed Usman till the 11th over.
You delayed Usman till the 11th over, and the 2 overs prior to them basically flipped the game. And you made the same decision here. What is it in this think tank that doesn't allow for proper utilization of both batting resources and bowling resources?
Very good question. Honestly, very hard to answer because you expect Mike Hesson to be one of the most prepared coaches and one of the most detail-oriented and data-driven coaches, but multiple times in this World Cup we've stuffed it up. And even this tactic of batting Salman Ali Agha in the power plays been a complete and miserable failure, and they haven't made changes on the run, on the move, and it might cost us a berth in the semi-finals.
To me, it's a lack of understanding of the game, of game nous and game awareness. What is happening right now? What is the momentum, and how do you seize the momentum? We just seem to go in with these. You basically have these preset plans, and we're just not allowing Salman or Salman Agha himself, Agha Salman isn't allowing himself to make those changes. Mustafa, your take on the use of bowling resources?
So the first thing is, I was watching this game with a bunch of, casual cricket fans, right? And even they could say, as soon as the power play is done, just bring on Osman Tariq for 4 overs straight. Because that is what every single Pakistan cricket fan was saying to them. Because everyone knew you were never going to defend this score against England, especially with how Brook was batting. You were only going to win this game when you had bowled them out. You weren't going to, and even somehow, some way, you almost did at the end, which we will talk about later. But so that's one problem. The other problem is this Nawaz is such a net negative in your team now. He cannot bowl. He is not batted well at all this tournament. And he is one of the singular reasons why the momentum shifted like it did. Because Brook completely took him to the cleaners in his first over in the power play. In that fifth over where we had taken 3 wickets, they were like 30 they were 35 for 3 in 5 overs. And
He
then
went
Brook,
for 17th in that fifth over,
he
and
went
that's
for
when they went
7
above the eight runs per over, and they never dipped below that.
and that thing swung the momentum all the way there. You bring in Shadab, who I do think in his first 2 overs, I do think Shadab bowled well. Let's
He
I
went
was like,
for 9 and 17.
no, his first two
No, that
overs
was the third over when he got hammered.
So third over got hammered,
where he got
correct.
hammered. I
And
think
one was a misfield. One was a misfield from
One was
Shaheen.
misfield, but that brings us to the point that we had before. Why are you trusting Shadab Khan for more than 2 overs?
why is Shadab
Seriously.
yeah, why is Shadab is one of you like Shadab is one of the reasons
He's
why you
an
all got to
he's
160. You
an
weren't getting
auxiliary bowler at this point. Why
yeah.
he cannot you cannot trust him to bowl a third and a fourth over. By that time, the batsmen have seen too much.
And that was what was so beautiful about Brooks' captaincy, because who would have thought he'd bring on Dawson in the 17th or 18th overs? Like, even till the end, we were guessing, is it going to be Overton to bowl? Is it going to be Jofra to bowl? Is it going to be Will Jacks to bowl? He left himself options open right till the 20th over. And I think he outclassed us by miles, of course. And of course, a very special innings, one of the all-time great innings for the World Cup period, let alone an England batter. But even his bowling changes was really shrewd, really spot on. And man, losing a
But
match to Liam Dawson in
that's the
bowling
difference, though, right?
that's gonna grind my gears forever.
Between
Yeah.
Harry Brook and Salman Agha is you have a captain who is proactive, who can see the game awareness, and you have another who is just basically reactive and just does not have any game nous. And of course, Harry Brook loves to bat against Pakistan. We
Ah,
all remember his knock in the PSL as well.
And also, like, just straight up, he can back up his captaincy with his performances. Like
even
straight,
coming in at 3, what an inspired move, man. That was
like he
ballsy
could
as heck.
see that things are about to shift with how Shaheen was bowling, and he said, like, nah, I'm coming in. I need to sort this out. This is
Because
obviously
that
going.
game could have swung right then. Had you taken another wicket and Harry Brook had delayed his entry, they could have been 4 down easily at that point.
Very true.
We had the momentum.
Yeah, and I make a lot of fun of Baz McCullum and that brain trust, but they do at least think about the game a bit. They do at least think about it a bit more. I do not think any of our brain trust thinks about it in aside from a superficial level. Like
I
we're
And I
think
just
think the
our
confidence they'll take forward after this game, tackling our spinners. I mean, the
yep.
sky is the limit for them. That self-belief is going to be through the roof, man.
yeah. There was a
I mean, you
reason
think
why.
of you talk about thinking about the game. Honestly, I think our folks just said, it's Ramzan, that'll carry us through. We don't have to think much.
And those Nawaz and Shadab in their they combined for 5 overs. They gave up 55 runs. Both the people who both said before this game that we were going to go to the final.
57 runs. I'm reading the numbers now. Six
57
overs,
57
none.
runs, and
Yeah.
this is an issue that the three
And
of
two
us
junk
have.
wickets for Nawaz.
Yeah.
Yep, and this is the issue that the three of us have hammered home since day one of the tournament. You don't need to play both of them. We have too many all-rounders.
Yes.
And
The
it
problem
is
is the batting
clear
depth gets compromised, huh?
It does,
But
but what has Nawaz added with his batting? Bring in Nafi.
That's true.
yeah, bring in Nafi. I don't even care who you bring in. Just bring in someone. You need more
नहीं, bring
like
in का मसला नहीं है. He wants a batter at 8, so it's Nawaz or Fahim, and both will let you down on
Fahim
respective
Ashraf.
stages.
But coming to that, I think Fahim Ashraf would have done better against Jafar Archer than Shaheen did
yes.
today as a bat, right? If you
For
had him
sure.
then, you would have probably eked out another
To
five,
be
6
fair, he
runs.
nailed that pull. Just got
He did
unlucky.
nail that pull, but you know,
Yeah, and also to a on that wicket, that was a seamer's wicket. It wasn't a spinner's wicket, right? In my opinion, that was a very much
It's spinning big for Adil though.
it was spinning big for Adil, man. But like at the same
but when
time,
he landed it, he
when
was
he
Now
landed,
these are Nawaz's batting contribution in this World Cup: 0, 4, and 5.
and what is his? What's his? I don't think he's
And he
never
why
flopped
is
performed.
he
against Netherlands as well, I remember
why is he
clearly.
still in the team since 2021?
Just
Based on
because it's
what?
spin tracks and this nonsense.
Do we
0, 4, 5, and 6 versus Netherlands. Yeah.
in
Well,
a
What's
he's
his?
got combined 15 runs in 4 matches.
Yeah.
in a nation of 250 million, you don't have a better player than Nawaz that you can
No,
toss up
problem
there?
is he had a stellar year in T20 as in his bowling. That's the
Yeah, that's
problem. We
true.
can't drop him.
But you're not even
He's
using him
good,
for
but
your
when it comes
bowling.
to ICC events, he just flops for some reason.
No, he flops because the level goes up. The level everyone
People
takes.
forget this, and we've discussed this about India, that the level in ICC tournaments is a lot higher. The pressure is a lot higher.
The
No, I'll
pressure, the pressure.
no, it's not even that. Everyone treats bilateral T20s as training games. They do not send their strongest teams in that, except if when it's us. We are the only one of the only teams in the world that treats bilateral T20s like it's some marquee matchup. We send our full strength team against B teams and C teams. And then when we face these same teams in World Cups where they are actually taking it seriously, we get trashed because they are actually playing their best T20 players who are actually not playing bilateral T20s. They are playing leagues, where that is the actual best players are playing right then and there. That's where I stand.
So where do we go from here? New Zealand, Sri Lanka tomorrow. If
We need Sri Lanka to win, and we hope
need Sri
England
Lanka to win
maintain
and
their
just
intensity versus the
that's it.
Kiwis. Yeah. And we beat Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Not a given. What did we think overall on this wicket? I think par would have been about
We didn't
175.
make enough runs. We needed 180. We needed 180.
175,
That was the
180.
Game
problem.
And
hand
that's
में
what
था
we
भाई.
We made it game in hand because Shaheen, who the much ridiculed and maligned Shaheen, made a game out of
No,
it. Otherwise,
take your victory lap on him. You have completely earned that.
I
apart
don't
from
need to take
his
victory
his
laps.
his
I'm
last
never in the
over.
wrong in the first place. I told you Saim is a fraud and he's proven it for 3 years now, but nobody believes me because they keep watching him for Zalmi. And Shaheen is Shaheen, man. Whatever it happens in the big matches, he has his impact
He has, but
somewhere or somehow.
his body has left him a little bit. He's not the same.
He's
That's
injured
the
as
thing.
well.
We kept dreaming he would be Mitchell Stark, but if he's Trent Bolt, that's also fine, man. It's okay. मतलब it's not Trent Bolt भी Hall of Famer है यार कोई बात नहीं.
Trent Bolt would still be like our what fifth greatest, like third greatest bowler since 2000, fourth greatest
Yeah,
bowler.
which is fine, man. If
Which is
if
great, which
Shaheen
is
ends up
still
with 250
awesome.
test wickets, it's fine, man. We have these ridiculous expectations. That's why I hate this youth obsession because we transmit our hopes and dreams कि हाँ भाई ये 10,000 करेगा, run करेगा, ये 50 100 मारेगा. That's the problem with investing in youth all the time. Let's live in reality for once.
To me, the biggest takeaway from watching these 3 matches now is that unless you have a plan, and the plan is not one of let's defer risk, you will never achieve anything in the middle overs and actually become a quality batting side in T20Is. This
You
whole
can
let's keep wicket in hands, go at 6, 7 runs and over, and then try and hit out in the last 4, 5 overs. That just doesn't work.
But Sadi bhai, who is stopping these middle order batters from emerging, man? किसी ने रोका थोड़ी है.
Nobody
But we
stopped
just
them.
don't have that kind of personnel. We don't have a David Miller, Tristan Stubbs,
But
or
do you
whoever you
need
may
an
name.
anchor? Do you need someone like Bauer?
We don't need an anchor, but give me better options. तैयब ताहिर को खिलाएं, कामरान गुलाम को खिलाएं, किसको खिलाएं? है ही कोई नहीं, proper middle order batters in
I
Pakistan
think
who can play at a
for
140
the
strike rate.
remainder of the tournament, though, I think you bring in Nafi for Babar and you go from there. He looked lost. I
You
felt
can't
bad
drop
for him.
Babar. He made three good partnerships with Sahibzada Farhan each time in the matches you did manage to win, except this one.
He made a partnership. I wouldn't call it good.
But that's what I'm saying. Even Sahibzada Farhan made run about 20 in that partnership. He is just block and slog. The advantage for us is his slogs true लगती हैं. Problem सिर्फ यही है. What they need to do is drop Nawaz and stick to this 11. I think this 11 is fine. It's okay.
So
I
you
think
would
this
drop
11.
Unless you want to
Nawaz.
adjust Abrar somewhere,
You
which we
would
can't
drop.
do.
You would drop
You drop.
Nawaz for who? Abrar
Then
or
that batting
Fahim
looks
Ashraf?
really light.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
drop Nawaz for Fahim Ashraf
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what
you
I'm
make
doing.
that one switch and stick to this team. I
and
dare say.
no Abrar.
Abrar is unlucky to miss out because Usman Tariq has that aura. You can't deny it at the moment.
Yeah.
He was good
But
today. But I don't understand our use of
Or
him.
maybe you can, but then you have Shaheen and Fahim that you go very spin heavy by dropping Mirza for Abrar. You can do that. I think that's not a bad shout either.
in Colombo, that's
But then
fine.
I mean, we're not playing in Colombo anymore.
Yes.
We're done.
what about the semi-final?
Unless you make the semis, you're not really playing Colombo.
Oh God.
God.
Anyway,
बहुत बड़ा मौका था
Why
यार.
is it always this that we always end up into a net run rate debate in every tournament?
it's
I
not
just want
that.
to
It's that I was watching them batting, and it just never seemed like we were
Bro, we
getting
once
enough
needed
runs.
Netherlands to beat South Africa to make it through. So it's
yeah,
parampara, you know.
It did, but when you watch them bat in that first innings, I just never felt they were in command and had a plan to get enough runs. It just felt the entire innings that we were always going to be 10, 15 runs
Because you're
short.
always on the back foot outside in the power play itself. हर मैच में हमारी विकेटें जल्दी गिरी हैं and then you get severely pressurized and that's what happens. क्या करें? Has there been any match where we've had a stable opening partnership or a one down partnership? I
No,
don't think so.
no,
Not in this entire World Cup.
because your boy Sam just
Because of the golden boy, Mr.
because
or
your number two, your one of your openers and your number three are all
they're
are
walking wickets. They're walking
they're,
wickets.
they're walking wickets, and then even Babar, like yeah, like as much as I don't want Babar in the team, he's the only one who's actually made partnerships this entire tournament.
He's literally done his job in three out of the times he
well,
got
one of the
starts. He did his
things,
job thrice.
and this always happens when Pakistan gets eliminated for a tournament. Agha will likely lose his captaincy and his
Of
spot.
course he will. Of
My
course he
guess
will.
is they give it to Shadab, but that opens up a number 3 spot.
I think they might give it to Shaheen. They might give. Do you think they give it back to Shaheen?
Very possible.
I think they might give it back to Shaheen and
I
just
don't
say
think
like Shaheen, you're the limited
Shaheen's
overs captain.
I don't think Shaheen's place in the lineup is as confirmed as Shadab's.
Shadab was not in the team for a while.
He wasn't, but now, he's been good with the bat. He can give you 2 overs, and he's still a very good fielder.
If you put Shadab realistically, if you start batting Shadab at 5, okay, let's live in
और
a
यार
dream.
छोड़ दो ये सब बातें यार छोड़ दो ये
No,
सब
no, no, no.
बातें
Listen, this is just me.
2017 से ये बातें चल रही हैं यार.
I'm
Maybe
fantasizing about this.
give the captaincy to Simon Yu.
Hmm.
Have
That's literally that will complete
greatness
the arc of failure.
greatness thrust upon you, as Macbeth said.
He can become the Ramiz Raja of T20 eyes.
Boy, यार भाई हाँ T20 आइज हाँ सही है T20 आइज सही है ODI
आर्क ऑफ फेलियर तो पूरी करनी है ना. Bara, let's hope for for Patum Nisanka to smash the Kiwis tomorrow.
कल हाँ is there any other match tomorrow or is it just Kiwis?
Only one match. Only one
Just
match.
the one match. So, all right, gents. Lots to talk about. Nothing surprising.
A
Post-mortem
lot to
rolling.
regret.
Post-mortem
Yeah,
rolling.
but it's when you're planning and your tactics aren't there to begin with, you can't have regrets. Regrets happen
Especially when you have a placeholder captain. That's the worst part.
correct. Placeholder captain, placeholder number 4. You just never looked balanced the entire time. And Mike Hessen is more and more becoming like a Ruben Amorim to me.
I wonder if he survives till 27 or if he wants to stick around.
He'll want to stick
Just
around. It's
haven't
कब तक है
been
उसकी डील?
impressed.
डील कब तक है उसकी?
27, 27.
Well, these contracts aren't worth the paper they're written on.
Very true.
And I mean,
Especially if there's a regime change.
especially when there's the last coach didn't get paid basically as well. Like it was like Gillespie didn't like get his
तो वो
paycheck.
आया ही नहीं तो पैसे किस बात के दें? लानत भेजो इन पे.
Uh-uh.
All right, boys. Thank you.
Remote coaching. Okay, see you. Bye.